Thanks so much for submitting your website for review. I know that you said you are really struggling to get the people that are landing on your website from Instagram to convert into actual clients. And I think you are totally right in that cleaning up your messaging and making it really easy for people to figure out what the right service for them is will help with that once they are on your site. One thing I did want to note is that when I looked at your Instagram and I went to your link in bio, there are a lot of choices there, and I wasn't sure what to choose. And I know you mentioned that you've got a lot of people that are landing on your site, but it might help to clean up that link in bio or at least highlight those top couple of things to make sure people who are coming to your site already have an idea of what it is that you do. But I want to take a look at your site overall and give you some feedback on how you could make it convert better. The first thing I want to say is that I love that you have your image. I think this text is a little bit hard to read on the background, so you might need to add an overlay on the background to darken it up a bit. I think you can also crop out where it's fuzzy. It doesn't need to take up this whole screen. In fact, I think it would help if it didn't. I love this headline, but I'm not really sure what it is that you do yet, so I'm not ready to click on become a member. I think it could really help to put this holistic wellness spa for women, as we call it, eyebrow copy above your headline here, so people know, okay, this is a wellness spa. You are hitting a pain point that I am beautiful, let's get well, and then you want people to become a member. I would say just make sure you review, is that the number one action you want somebody to take? So your call to action, especially on your homepage, should be the number one action you want people to take. If that is to become a member of your spa, that's awesome. You have that here. If you think it would help them to do something else first, then you can think about changing up that CTA. The next thing I would mention is, because this is going to be an in-person spa, I would be interested to know if the people who are coming to your site are local to you, that they could actually take advantage of coming here, becoming a member, whatever that looks like. If you find that a lot of people are not local, I think it would help to add your location, especially in the footer, possibly in the main headline, just the city and state. And that way people would know as they come to your site if this is an option for them. If you offer any virtual services, then you could link to those first, because you would be able to serve people no matter where they were located. The next thing I would say is your homepage has a lot of different options. And I think this is probably what's confusing people, is they're not sure which one is right for them. I think that instead of doing these sessions as options, you may want to talk about how you can do like spa sessions, maybe diabetes prevention or treatment, and then a nutrition program, because people can probably differentiate which one of those they're interested in better than, do I want one of these services or do I want to keep scrolling down the page? I would also add an actual call to action button, whether you leave these sessions here or you change it to something else. Add a button beneath each of these for people to purchase, because if they don't hover over the name, they're not going to know that they can actually link to this from here. And then as we get further down the page, I was a little bit confused by the congratulations headline. It didn't seem like it fit, but I know you're trying to talk about your lifestyle programs, nutrition, the VIP access. So I think these are almost what needs to go here. And then you could talk about the spa, give people another call to action there. and move your COVID-19 protocol, your privacy policy, all of that to either the services page or add it into the footer of your website so that it's not on this page to keep having more things to scroll through. Again, the contact, I like to have a separate contact page instead of having this form built in, and you could move all of this there. I think having your phone number, address, hours in the footer would be really helpful. So you could design this footer so it's 3 columns where you've got your logo, your hours, your address here, then you've got links, then you've got social media. I really like on your about page that you've got this video walking through things. I think this is a great place to, again, have a little bit more of that information. You've got the about you, about your team. When you get to your diabetes prevention program, there's a lot of information here, but there's not a ton of what do we do next. So I would move this call to action down here and then see if you can lay this out a little bit differently with some icons to make it simpler, and then add another call to action button at the bottom. So I'm not sure how much you can change because this is a CDC program, but I would just try to lay it out so that you can do the call to action for people to take this test. And then you've got your services. I think it's totally okay to have your services here as a menu where people can book, but I would set this page up so that there is more of a headline, you're talking about it, and then you've got these listed out. So it's not just a list of services, especially when it comes to something like the body composition analysis, that you have some ability to add more information. So you've got your services here, and it looks like these are the same as the other one. So I would just change this to services, see if you can add a headline, and then not worry about having this page a second time. You're in the community page. I love that you have this. It doesn't need to be in the main menu unless you really want this to be one of your core values, and then include it on the about page. Include the fact that you do all this stuff in the community as well as some like text information. And that way you can just clean up the menu, make it really streamlined, and give people a very clear way of, do you want spa services? Do you want the diabetes prevention information? Are you interested in something else? I also noticed that while you have become a member here, and I think you talk about it, I didn't see anything more about that in your main menu. So it looks like this is an online course that you've got, and it may be that this is the main call to action that you want to lead people to, is this course or membership, whichever you would prefer to call it. If that's the case, I would make your sales page on your website, do a really nice sales page with all of this information, direct people to that, and then have a page for spa services, have a page for diabetes prevention, and you can still have that kind of 3-option menu that gives people the wellness program, the spa services, and the diabetes prevention, but just separating those out into different things so that depending on what someone is interested in, it's very clear where they should go next. But I think having this as a sales page that's in the main menu of your site is going to help you sell more of this so that people can see what you offer. They can see the benefits more than just a list of text here and having them decide right away. I think that would help. And then just simplifying things in the menu, especially so that they're not overwhelmed by the different choices and they can tell very easily the difference, especially if they're not local to you. They know that spa services aren't going to be the right thing for them. So they can just self-select out of that and then take a look at your other stuff.